Boruto episode 57, The Reason I Can't Lose. So this episode I would say was definitely entertaining. Once again, mostly it was just, movie content, but we did get some extra stuff. We got the introduction showing off all the different teams that were actually going to be fighting during the second round of the chunnin exam. Just as they were going through it, I was just like, they're screwed, they're boned. They weren't in the movie, so I know they lost. So it was kind of funny just looking at the teams, and it was like, okay, Metal, Iwa and Denki are definitely out. Sumidi and the other two girls who I just can't ever seem to remember their names. That team is definitely out. The random team with the girl who had like the crazy long hair with like spirals at the bottom, I was like, I don't know those people, so they're toast. And of course, that's exactly how it played out. I knew Shikadai, of course, made it because of the movie, so I was like, well, the Shikacho trio was going. Obviously, Boruto, Sadara Mitsuki. I assumed that Gaara's son was going. I was just like, this dude, of course, is gonna make it. Him and his team. And I think I can't remember who Shikadai fought. I think he did fight the girl. That's why that's why she wears earphones, and they were shown in the trailer. She uses like sound based attacks, but I really couldn't remember her being in there, which is kind of funny that they chose her character. I might have to go back to watch the movie, but I'm like, I really don't remember seeing like Gaara's son fight at all in the film. But I knew who was gonna make it. I knew who wasn't, and it was cool, watching like the small scenes before it got to basically the movie stuff. They shoot through all the different teams winning and stuff like that. I was like, all right, well, that's pretty cool. Then it shoots to Boruto and his team and him almost failing because he does, the shadow clone. This like, oh, it's 5 versus 3, and then each of them can do the shadow clone jutsu, which I never considered that before. And I mean, because it was always the whole point of it was like it was a secret technique and it was like an illegal jutsu. So it's kind of weird that people just started picking that up. I mean, technically it is just a hand sign, but with the way they did it in the original series, it was like Naruto had to be like insanely specific on how to do it, but technically everyone knew how to do it anyway because they learned that. So it was like this really weird thing. I guess it was like it was, it wasn't really illegal. I mean, obviously that was like the lie that he was told anyway about the scroll. It's the secret technique, but it was always supposed to be this big deal that he learned it, but he did read about it, and somehow him reading is what made him be able to do it like 1,000 and 100. So I don't know, I always thought that was interesting. Everybody can do it, but for some reason, no one seems to do a bunch, which I know is chakra based, but nobody ever seems to go past a couple. It's like, technically everyone can do that if they put all their chakra, most of it, only into shadow clones. Like, everyone could do a bunch of shadow clones if they wanted to, if they were strong enough. So I always thought that was interesting, but now just like everybody kind of picks it up every once in a while and just uses it. So he's about to fail, of course, and then he pulls out the ninja tool. He does, water technique, and then he does lightning style and takes everybody down. So I always thought that was cool. I thought it looked cool in the movie. I thought it still looked cool here. It was just a cool technique because it was just like a crazy wave of water, and then he uses, lightning style and just drops down on him and fries him pretty much. So I was like, all right, it was a cool little moment. So that was pretty much all there was to it. Sadara, of course, uses her Sharingan, and she sees which flag is fake or which one is real, so she's able to get past all the fake ones. And then they succeed. They have their little rallying point where it's like, okay, these teams lost from the academy, these teams won. So they're all cheering the winners on, like, you guys go through and survive the third round as well. So I thought that was cool. And of course, the relationship elements are finally coming into play with Naruto, of course, in the email in the first round, and now he actually comes to visit him in person, in the second round. So I thought that was cool. And they're getting on that, and they're touching on the ninja tool and the scientist, which I still like. I know that, like, I mentioned it a million times already, but I still find it so weird that they're going with like it's this secret plot and everything. It's like, well, it doesn't feel like there's any secret mystery there because we've seen the guy and we know exactly who it is. And it's like, what could he possibly do with the secret weapon unless he's gonna like, kill Boruto, like blow his arm off or something. I just don't see what the secret plan could be. So it's like, it's just the movie stuff, and it's just like, I don't. I mean, they can't really cut it. I mean, they couldn't. They could have cut the mystery part because honestly, it has nothing to really do with the story. It was just suspense in the movie version, and with this, it's like, well, we know exactly who it is. So technically, there's not much suspense. We don't know who the new guy is, but it's just like, there's no real suspense. There's no mystery. It's just like, I know it's this guy, so whatever he's planning is like, clearly he's weak, so it doesn't matter what the mystery is. Almost, it's just like, it's just, I don't know, it seems weird, but definitely enjoyed the episode. One of the coolest the coolest new thing was definitely Gaara on the train. against the new guy, because I don't know the other two names either. I can't remember any of their names, but them fight. Well, I can't say fighting, but the attack I thought was really cool because of course Gaara's like, I'm Gaara, ultimate defense. Whatever. He's just relaxed, like, okay, I don't know you, but I'm just gonna sit here. And when he throws the fishing line, it shoots straight through like it's nothing. Like it just phases through it, and then it goes into like Gaara's chest, which should have technically been like right on his heart, if I'm not mistaken. And he pulled something out. He was like, he pulled it back, and it was almost like he had like a tiny little piece of special chakra. It was like whatever may have been left over, and it seemed like that's what he got. Because he says, "I got what I came for," and then he's gone. And I was like, well, that's weird because of course they know that Shikaku isn't there anymore, but he went for something. So maybe just the residual is there, and which totally makes sense considering Gaara is able to have a conversation with him. It totally makes sense, but they didn't really bring it up, and I feel like that's something that he would have been able to feel. Whereas like that last little bit of Shikaku is gone now, and I can't feel it anymore. But they don't really talk much about it. But that was a great scene, just because I was surprised. I was surprised as Gaara. I was like, holy crap! It just phased straight through. It was like it went through, and then it just went straight into his chest, and I was like, that was actually kind of cool. It was like for that split second, it was a bit of tension that I was not expecting at all. Because I'm like, it's Gar. He's just gonna defend, and the guy's gonna be like, okay, I'm out of here. And then that was not the case at all. He was like, nope, I got exactly what I wanted, and I'm out. So I love that scene just because it was a surprising bit of tension. So I'm looking forward to how that's gonna play out and what they decide to do with that. Because once again, him being the new character and not in the movie or anything, I am curious to see exactly what it is that he got, if it was that extra little bit of chakra that was left over. So looking forward to getting an answer on that one. But that was a cool scene in general. Whole episode decent. It was a decent chunk of the movie, but they added some really good stuff in this. So looking forward to the next one. Can't wait. This is kind of what I've been waiting for. I was looking more forward to the one-on-one stuff than this episode, which I'm glad they kind of did it this way, where we did get to see some stuff. Metal Lee, super awesome in this episode. They had the scene, of course, him with like one arm and stuff, and I was like, they made the references. But that was great. I thought that was cool just to see his character actually, he even says like, I didn't get nervous this time. So I thought that was cool. Get to see him fight a little. I would have loved to see him do like, release the first gate or something like that. I'm like, that'll be pretty sweet. Even if he still lost, I'd be like, it would have been cool to see that just because that's always sweet. But yeah, definitely fun episode. Can't wait for the one-on-one fights just because they're gonna probably, it seems like they're already gonna go through most of them, so that's a little bit unfortunate. It seems like they're gonna do exactly what they did in this episode, which I guess in one regard that's good because they're shooting through the movie stuff, but at the same time, if they expanded it and it was just like, here's one episode where it's all action or, most of it, I'd actually be okay with that. Even though I know exactly where it's leading, I'd still just like to see a cool episode where it's like just two characters fighting. So it seems like they're kind of cutting it up a little bit because they already get to Boruto stuff, they show Shikadai stuff, and they show, I think it was Inojin is like the new fight. So that I'm looking forward to because I have no idea what that third kid can do who has the sword and the mask. I have no idea what he can do. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what in the world happens with that fight. But all in all, decent episode, decent chunk of the movie. So decent episode. The new content was good, especially the Gaara scene I loved. But definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts about it, your least favorite parts about it. And with us going into the one-on-one fights, especially with them expanding on it compared to the movie, I would love to know which fights you guys are most interested in seeing. For me, I would definitely say Gaara's son, if they decide to put that in there, because the way they're doing it, considering they're doing Boruto's fight in the next episode, I think they might skip over it, or it'll just be super fast like it was in this, because he's so insanely powerful, they might just shoot right past it. So it's like, I kind of want to see him have a challenge, which maybe they'll do. It just depends on how they decide to change the story around with, the big action scenes. If the kids actually get involved, or more of the kids, I guess, get involved, we might actually get to see, really what he can do. So I'm looking forward to that. Just like this episode, kind of basically, it was like Gaara when he was younger. It's the same thing. It's just metal. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope we get to see some of that. But I'm looking forward to just the expanded versions of the fights in general. So I'm excited for it. But like I said, I definitely want to know what one-on-one fights you guys want to see the most. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please comment below. Let me know. And thanks for watching.